Ooh, are we streaming yet? Oh, good morning, everybody. Back again with the Python. Wait for some people to show up. Here we go. Here we go. I really need to make a thumbnail for this. Brian Ruff, good morning. How's it going? Candace, good morning. Andre, good morning. I don't know how fast this is going to update, but we can just review what we did yesterday. Yesterday we did lists, basically just arrays in JavaScript, and then we learned about the append method to add things to the end. We learned how to access different indexes. We learned that they're the daily code challenge. Nice, dude. Bully berries. Zach, what's up? Terrace, what's up? Just about to do this, just reviewing a little bit. We could delete indexes but store it to another variable, so we could duplicate in memory. Decided to mess with the JS library, and anime.js is sweet. I've never heard of that. So, all right, let's continue on. It's more lists today. So we got iteration, probably some loops going on. See how things fare. Can you guys see everything okay?
One of the most common things to do with lists is to loop or iterate through every item. Now, typically, we iterate through each value and then run some code against that item. Now, the most common way to do this is with a for-in loop. We can use the for-in loop because a list is iterable. That is, it's able to be iterated. Let's take a look at this ability in the REPL.
Okay, so let's take a look at this meeting.py file in interactive mode. So we'll kick this off. Python-i meeting.py.
All right, so again, we're going to launch this Python interactive thing. So py-i. I think he's using a different. Yeah, he's using code from like the meeting and whatever that was. So not even gonna try. I'm not sure if you can either. I don't really know. I haven't messed with the streaming permissions and all that stuff. All right, now we're in interactive mode. I know it's python-i, but you can do py-i too. It's not too bad. I do that when I run functions. You don't have to type it all out. Aren, hello, welcome back for the stream. How'd you guys feel about yesterday's video? I know I didn't include taxes, but you got municipal taxes, city taxes, state taxes. I just didn't want to go down that route.
And we have an attendees list, remember? So we have our attendees here. And this is something that we can iterate over. And the syntax is pretty clean. It's for, and in our case, the thing is attendee, and this will be the variable that our item is stored in for each iteration. And then the keyword in, and then our list, which again is attendees. And then we need to do a colon to start the block. And then we can work with each one of these items because it will be stored in the attendee variable. So let's just print it out. So say print attendee. Awesome. So I just want you to imagine that each time through the loop, that this variable, this attendee here, is set to the next item from here. So it just goes one through each, right? So it goes Ken, Elena, Treasure, Ashley, James. And just sets that attendee each time through the loop. Now, here's something that you might not expect. The last value is actually still available with that label, even after the loop is done. So if I just type attendee here, you'll see that it's set to the last thing we looped through. So attendee is still set. I'm not sure you'll ever need that, but you never know. Oh, one more thing while we're here in the REPL, the in keyword. Just like how you can use it to see if a string is inside of another string, well, we can also use it to see.
Putting out a lot of good content. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Books and books. Let's print each book. All right, so this is a for loop, and did with Python. You spent about 1 month on it. Why am I starting to learn Python? We voted on it, but I've always liked Python. I like the fact that you can do hardware. I don't know, it has the most utility to me. And I like the syntax. It's very phonetic. You can write it out a lot easier. There's not a whole lot of syntax that you need to go through. So this is a book. So 4 book-in books, and then come down. This would be like a for each loop in JavaScript. So yeah. So if we run this, I have to save it, right? This needs an autosave function. So we've printed out everything there. Sweet.
See if one item is in a list. Like, for instance, I can see if Ashley was in our list. I would just say, hey, is Ashley in attendees? True, she is. Awesome.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that you could do that. Cool. Which one is better, JavaScript or Python? That's a subjective question. Depends on what you want to use it for. Depends on a lot of stuff. But feel free to ask me other questions besides this.
Let's pop out of this, and let's switch over to our wish list.
We're just going to work through the basics of Python. And
so I was thinking, how about we make this show every one of the items in our wish list? Let's just do the entire list. So let's see. So we'll say, let's make a little header here. So we'll do books, and we'll say for book, that's our thing, in books. So that's going to loop through each one of these. Will be set. That'll be the book. That'll be the book. That'll be the book, right? And so,
literally what I just
make sure that this is on 4. Space is 4 here. Don't forget that. There we go.
Streaming me learning a web framework. Yeah, we'll get there. We're going to do Django. We have to make it through this first.
There. Use some Unicode magic if you wanted to. So we'll loop through each one of these and then print out the books. Cool. Let's go ahead. Let's save that and then run it. So Python wish list of Py. Awesome. Beautiful. Oh, you know what?
Well, it's a simple loop.
I'd like to add in.
So in JavaScript, this isn't a JavaScript file, but right. Well, this is like a for each loop, right? Dot for each, and then item in JavaScript. Hectic. It's hectic. Well, that's because he's at like 2x speed.
Another type of product in my wish list. So my other addiction is
I should skip this.
I've added my wish list
Google syntax is needed.
So let's just copy.
Now everybody voted for this, so
paste that up here.
I mean, while you and I might know the basic syntax of Python, there are people that have never done
and things don't stay
Python
on this list very long. Confession,
this might be the first time that they're learning code.
They're also good. Anyways, let's just display my outdated list. So I think I'd like to do the same thing. I'd like to.
I need to Google what this dot format does. You watched one of my posts. It looks like I was making fun of Krishan. If you scroll down and look at the comments, I actually sent that to Chris, and he's like, yeah, this is awesome. I was making fun of his color grading and that he's always in his car. I've already told him that. Like, we've already talked it over. He thinks it's hilarious. I need to know what this dot format does. Oh, all right. I see what's happening. So dot format puts this variable inside of these brackets. So I can't write it out, but this. Then we have brackets. This is where the variable goes. Dot format. And then inside you put the variable that you want. So we would take the first book of that list, and I assume book learning Python would be the book that is suggested. Suggest book H. Oh, because that's never mind. That's not the array. I'm printing. It should be learning Python. Huh. I'm grabbing the first character of the string. Interesting. All right.
Add a title. and then do a layout, I suppose I could just copy and paste the code, but my don't
Hi from
repeat yourself,
Germany,
my
hi.
dry spidey sense is going off. I don't want to duplicate that code.
Will this
Now,
video be all Python? Yeah, we're
I
doing
want
all
to change the way
Python
it's
today
displayed.
till
I
we
have to do
finish
that in two
this. Am I
places.
teaching
So
or
here,
practicing? We're
let's
doing
solve
it
that
all
problem
at
with
the
a function.
same time.
So how about I make a function that expects parameters of the display name, you know, like is it a book or a video game, and then also the list. Let's do that. But first, let's take a quick break because I want to show you the gotchas surrounding passing a mutable object like a list around. Take a quick break and come back refreshed, and we'll tackle this mutability
Why does this look so strange? Is this going to be kept for later? Yeah.
issue head on.
Nice, enjoy, kid. All right, thanks, man. I'm trying to explain this relative to JavaScript. It's late where you live. Yeah. It will definitely be there. So to print a bulleted list of, well, how would we print this right? So we would do, I don't know, continent in continents. So this is your basic loop, right? So print each continent for all the continents. Oops. Check that work. Wait. Oh. Asia not found. Wait, what? Python crash course. Nice, man. This is kind of a stickler, to be honest. I feel like this is correct. This is correct. So I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time. Okay, so it was a stickler based on this little space right here. Okay, so that's just their IDE. Print only continents that begin with the letter A. All right, let's do that. Hint, remember you can access characters by using string index. So am I writing an if statement here? Did we miss something? Oh, that's continent 0. We want format. Make a do app, use list comprehension, nested for loop. We should just be able to check. Object is not scriptable. I feel like why is this so hard? Yeah. But this, I think continent 0 will just give me the very first, well, it will give me Asia. Oh, all right. There we go. Just kidding. All right, I had it right. Man, I'm overthinking it. Okay. I like how we haven't even discussed if conditions yet, but we're still doing it. That's neat.
All right, so we want to come up with a handy
It is
function
pretty
that will
much
allow
just
us
like
to
the for
display
loop.
each wish list in a standard sort of fashion. This is, as you know, a wonderful place to use a function. So we want to display our heading, just like we did here, like we say this.
Yeah, I was
and
confusing
we also
the
want to display our
singular
list. So we're gonna
continent
move
with
through, list.
the list.
We got this, right? Let's make a new function. So the function would look like, let's see, we're going to define a new function called display wish list. And first we want to know what that heading is. Let's call that display name. Right? So that would be books or video game. And then the items that we want. So we'll just pass in wishes, right? Because it's a wish, whether it's a book or it's a video game list. This is the list up there that we're going to pass in. Awesome. So first things first, we'll just print out that header, right? So we'll say
Oh, we're
display
making
name.
functions now. He went over that pretty quick. But the def is a function in Python. Do I have? Oh, we're doing slicing now? All right, I'm just gonna remove this. Just paste in that. Save.
And we'll make that a colon. There we go.
From 0 to 100 here, Josh.
You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's do the suggested gift thing. Let's go ahead and put this as part of our function because we'll suggest a gift from each one of them. So, you know what? I'm just thinking if we show a suggested gift from the list, we shouldn't show it in the other.
Oh, all right. Well, can I get the other? I've removed. I don't have the display name or wishes anymore.
Part,
all right. Looks
So
like we're just gonna have to watch
I guess
it.
what we want to do is we want to just pop that first one off, right? I mean, what could go wrong? So we'll say suggested gift equals wishes dot pop, and we'll get the first one, right? So we want pop 0. Okay, so let's make this stand out a little bit. We'll say print. Let's add some arrows here at the front. Let's really stand out, and we'll print out that suggested gift. And again, we remove that from the list, so we can probably just do what we did before, right? So we just want to loop through each of the wishes. So we can say for wish in wishes, and we will print. Let's see, so we use the star before for bullet plus wish. There we go. And then at the very end, let's just add a blank print here after the display wish list. So that we'll keep things separate. Cool. So now we should be able to just call that function. So we'll say display wish list, and we will call that for the display name is books, and there that wish, the list of wishes we have, that's called books. And let's do it for video games. So I can just
How are you guys
copy
doing this morning?
And instead of books, we have video games, and instead of the books here, we have video games. Awesome. That feels pretty clean, right? Let's get rid of these other things here.
Can I get that array back, please?
There we go. There,
Our
yeah, nice.
list.
So we've got
I don't have the
our
list.
Function. We're going to call it. Let's see what it looks
Make
like.
me
So
type
we'll
it
say
out.
Python.
You're doing good, dude.
Awesome. Looks like we got it. I'm going to scroll this up a little bit and run that again. Sometimes the scrolling gets a little wacky here.
How's the stream quality
Cool.
today?
So we pulled one off, and we pulled the second one off, and that looks right. Looks good, right?
All right. Ready to tackle more preprocessor concepts? Sick, dude. Brian, how come we haven't talked yet on Lambda, on the Slack?
There's a little bug in our program, though. Let's take a look. Do you see what that bug is? Here, this will really demonstrate. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call this again one more time.
Patrick, what's up, dude? Welcome.
Oh, that's weird. The second time through, it's a little bit shorter, and it's a different suggestion. Oh, that's because we're changing the list with that pop command. This pop command here is actually changing this list. Now, I
He's
made that happen on
he's
purpose
actually
to really
modifying
highlight
the
the
list.
caution that you should take when dealing
The variable
with mutable
changes.
objects.
Kyle,
Let's
what's
think
up,
about
dude?
how
Welcome.
a user of this function might feel. They pass their list in here to get a function called display wish list, and I'm pretty sure that they aren't going to expect their list to get an item removed from it. That's going to come as a shock. So remember, these parameters can be thought of like applying the label display name equals books and wishes equals books.
Breakfast
So we've
burrito.
applied a label to that object that we passed in.
That
Now
sounds
the label
heavy.
only lasts while the function's running and
Daniel,
then it's removed.
welcome.
But during that function execution, the label wishes is referring to the same object. Now in this case, it was the video games list. That's why when we call pop, it changes the object because it's the same object. So there are better ways to do this. One rule to follow is to not modify someone else's objects unless you are explicit about it in your method name. If you find yourself needing to change a list, like we did here, just for display purposes, you can use the copy method. The copy method on lists allows you to make a copy of the list, and this leaves the previous one
Okay, so
intact.
what
So
he's
let's go
doing
ahead-
here, let's talk about it for a second. He's actually modifying the list and then printing it out. Oops. Let's take this list. No, that's not what I wanted. Then he's doing the first index, Oh, you don't need that. That's JavaScript. Then print books. Save. Come on. I saved it. Why is this not running? What's up, Evan? Welcome aboard. Oh, because of indentation. So Python is a stickler for indentation. Yeah, so that's why I commented this function out. All right. Doesn't pop always remove the last entry? No, not always. In JavaScript. But here you can, so in JavaScript pop is by default the last, right? And then you can like shift also and unshift. But here pop is literally like remove something specific in JavaScript. So again, I could change this to like 1 and it would remove Lord of the Rings now. See, now it's just them. So it's strange. So we're at for loops and print statements? No.
Didn't do that.
We're doing
I'm going to make a new
modifications
copy
of lists.
Here, and I'm going to call it item. Items equals wishes dot copy. And then, not dot copy. And then instead of wishes here, I'm going to say items. And then we can say for item.
I'm confused as to why I have to put this to a new, because this should work, regardless if I set it to a new variable or not. Yeah, okay. So it's my syntax parser. Anthony, good morning.
Items.
Welcome aboard.
Item. So items is now a completely unrelated copy of wishes. Now I can change items all I want, and it won't change. It's just a copy. So here, watch. We'll run it again, and you'll see.
So this is kind of like that.
Stay the same each time.
In JavaScript, you like I just talked about this last weekend, but you have like this triple dot spread operator, and you can use that to make a copy of it. So right, we have let array1 right equals 4 5, yeah, 1 3 4 5. Yep, that's how I do it. And then would be like 6 7 8, like that. So then we would like come down here and we could do actually we just put it up there, and then we put like array2 inside of it. So if you did that with the spread operator, you'd be kind of like extending the array here, but you'd also be creating a duplicate in memory. So what's up? Is this free software for Python? Can you use this on both Mac and PC? This is Team Treehouse link. The link for it's in the description. It's always entertaining watching noobs. I'm glad we're entertaining to you. Thanks for letting us know that you feel superior. All hail, Penguins of Gaza. Okay.
We didn't change that master video games list. Now, I should point out that you could actually solve this problem that we're having here by not removing the element from the list at all, and only iterating through the list starting at the second element. You could use what is known as a slice. We'll get to that here in a bit, and check the teacher's notes for a sneak peek. Another thing that I want you to be careful of is loops and mutability. So let's pop open a REPL really quick. Let's pop open, let's say Python. Well, let's take an example from one of those video games I was playing. Let's use Zelda. It's an adventure game, and you collect items, and you keep them in your inventory. So a typical inventory might look something like this. So we'd have an inventory, do a list, and you might have a shield. Definitely have apples. That's how you go ahead and eat things. And you have a sword. Maybe you'll have a bow, like for a bow and arrow, a boomerang. All right, basic inventory from an adventure game, right? So one thing that we haven't looked at yet is that you can remove an element from a list by value. So you could say inventory. And there is a method called remove. And
I don't understand what that means, Walter, but
so we're going to remove the apple from our inventory. And now if you look at inventory, you'll see that it's gone. a common problem that happens is that you mutate the list while you're looping over it. Like for instance, let's say that you wanted to drop everything from your inventory. You might think that you could do something like this. For
think it's just
item
entertaining.
in inventory. So we're just going to loop through every single one of these items. And we'll say inventory, remove, and we are going to remove that item. That seems like it makes sense, right? But we were looping over it. So what happens is you get this weird, unexpected result of you still got a sorted boomerang left. So again, this is where copy saves the day. You just loop over a copy of the array. Like so. Let's do this. So let's
We're all noobs at one time.
Let's reset our inventory. There we go. And for an inventory.copy, so we'll loop through each one of those, and then we'll choose.
You want to watch me struggle bus while I learn a language?
The master list. So this will create a new list. We're not going to assign it to a variable. It's just going to create a new one. It's going to loop through that, but we're going to remove from the actual inventory list. Now, if we take a look, bam. So just remember to be extra thoughtful when dealing with mutable objects. After a quick break, let's head back, and I want to show off some pretty
It's interesting
great
that you have to like copy every list if you want to modify it. It's kind of annoying. I just heard this is where coffee saves the day. You need more coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I'm gonna go to the gym, right? What's my experience with Python? I mean, I've never done it like from scratch. I've just kind of jumped into things that I've wanted to try, like a keylogger, and then I learned about pip, and I don't know, I just dove head first. Like going from start to finish like this with the loops and the ifs and all these methods that are built in, I haven't really done in a proper way. I usually just jump in because I'm like, you can make this with Python. I'm like, all right, well, how do I do it? Then I just figure it out, and then I end up missing a bunch of like fundamental knowledge, kind of like we're doing now. So you're watching me struggle bus through it. All right, let's go over this little quiz here. Banned this kind of behavior. I don't know if you can ban behavior. I mean, you can, right? But like, catch some this time. What's up, Jake? Welcome aboard. We got turtles, the Ninja Turtles. We have a function that's taking the names. If the length of names is more than 1, we want bebop. Wait, what? Then we're giving it the turtles. But this won't do anything. Oh wait, if it's greater than 1, the name 0 is going to be bebop. So Michelangelo is going to change to bebop, and then we're going to print the turtles. So it should be C. Okay, see. Did that help? Does this way that I'm explaining it as I'm going along, does this help you guys? If it does, just press 1 or something. Let me know. You guys couldn't see the answer, but I'll scroll down next time. All right, we have a list of taco restaurants, or restaurants. We have a function that's taking this list of restaurants. We're copying this list, and then we're going to loop over the copied list. And if there's taco, if taco's not in the list, then we're going to remove. All right, we're putting things to lowercase. Taco joints, return taco joints. And then, oh my god. All right, let me just copy this. See how it's working. Doesn't say what's the output. I feel like seeing what's the output is like, you gotta watch on 720 to see the code. Yeah, I know. Bebop and Rocksteady are awesome. What do you think the author used the copy method in the loop here for? So he's not modifying the original restaurants? Save. I'm not printing anything, so that makes sense, right? Alright, so let's go over what this did. We want to remove all of the ones with taco. Taco Villa, House of Tacos, and then we're putting it. Actually, wait. Let's see what the new list is. And then we would want all restaurants also. It's not gonna work. Actually, we'll just put it in the same print statement. I feel like normal live streams are more engaging. Yeah, so we took everything with taco, removed it, put it in its own array, and then kept the other one the same. Okay, fantastic. Ishan, hi, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, but you love tacos? This is my problem with for in loops, is that you have to look. Oh my god, I didn't mean to zoom that much. Does this help, by the way? I did run it. I ran it already. My problem is that you have to look at the singular form in the for loop, and sometimes you're like, is this referring to the actual list, or is it referring to the item in the list? And it's like, I get lost in that sometimes. I don't know about you guys, but finish the quiz.
A lot of times, you'll want to represent an entire list as a string. Now, when we as developers see the default list representation in our shell, that's pretty enough for us, because we understand how that works. But our users, they deserve something a little better.
Listening at 1.5 is a lot better than watching some guy move at 1.5.
And vice versa. There will be times where you'll have a string, but really, it'd be more handy to have that information in a list. Now, there's a method that is named split on strings that will allow us to turn a string into a list. Let's take a peek at how those work in the REPL.
So let's take a look at split first. Now, the latest Star Wars movie had a wonderful new quote in it. It's from the master of words himself, my man Yoda. He said that in his own backwards way. He said, "The greatest teacher, failure is." Which is totally true. I totally believe that. And I think we should print this out, but at Yoda speed, right? Like one word at a time to really make it ring true. So I could just build a list.
I don't know why
the list could have each one of these words. That's what split is for. So I'm going to say words equals quote dot split. And you'll see I now have.
Let's see. Open source projects. Can change the. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I know. Do I find it easier learning this having web development background? Might be a dumb question. I mean, I understand it's like the same concepts, but different syntax. A loop is a loop. Whenever I write a loop, I make sure if I'm doing items, and then like for items or for item in items, it's like, wait, can we just name these totally different? Like for restaurant and places to eat, like that seems a lot more easy to me.
A list of each word. By default, this happens. It splits on any white space, and since there was a space between, it was perfect for our needs. You can make it split on just about anything. And now, to slow things down, we're going to need to add a little delay in our loop.
Is this like in my cache or something? I don't know why it's airing out, but...
Now, lucky for us, there's a module named time that provides a method called sleep. Let's import it, and I'll show you how to use it. Import time. And now, let's just loop through each word. So we'll say for word in words. And we'll print the word. And there is a method on time called sleep. And it takes a parameter, the number of seconds. So I think Yoda speech is pretty slow, so maybe one word every half second. Let's do that. And when I press enter here,
that's neat. So they have a timeout function built in. That's pretty cool. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm literally reading the copyright thing. Let's see. Do motivation. I don't know why it's erroring out at me. Missing docstring. All right. Just make one string and split it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but my Python's yelling at me, so that's fine. We'll do that's probably taken. My dogs are gonna bark. Trash masters here. You ever have one of those days where you're just not feeling it? Because you have other things on your mind? That's where I'm at right now. I feel like this is so boring to watch. Like, okay, what would we use this for, you know? Like, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. We can split letters out. Like, we can do all this. We can do all that. But, like, can we just make some stuff? Like, let's make some real stuff happen. And so, this is just part of the process of learning, but... yeah, print words. It's not boring, not to you. String dot split.
Here you go. The greatest teacher failure is. Such a wise old dude, right? So that's split. It takes a string and turns it into a list. Now let's take a look at the other direction.
Oh, he imported time, but he didn't really discuss that module.
Why don't we open up our meeting script? You know how calendar invites put all the people in the to
It
field?
splits with white spaces, except it didn't do anything at all. All right, let's go up to the top here. Oh, all right, yeah, so my bad. Let's see. What's up today, guys? Right, so now if I do it, yeah, it splits it out. Yeah, I got you. So it splits word by word, unless I specify exactly what it wanted to split by. So if I were to do like this, oh, really? All right, then.
By commas? Well, let's do that. We've got a list, and we want to turn it into a string. So let's join it together. Now, the first thing to do is to choose your separator.
Is that for junior dev? No, it's average.
So we'll make
so
a new
it's like,
two-line.
I don't know,
We're
say
gonna
like
choose
3-4
our
years
separator.
in the
Commonly,
industry.
this is a comma and then a space. And then we're going
Might
to
split
join
by each
that,
character?
and we're gonna
Yeah, I
pass
tried
in
that.
our
Apparently you
iterable,
can't give it
iterable.
arguments.
And our attendees is an iterable. It's a list, and lists are iterable.
I
And
did.
let's
I
build
tried
the
single and I
CC
tried
list as well,
double.
the carbon copy list. So
Didn't do anything.
CC line equals same thing. We're going to make a comma space, and we'll call join on that, and we'll join our optional invitees. One thing to note here is that the join method is a method that belongs to strings. Now, I often go looking for this method on the list itself, but
There
then I
wasn't
remember that
quotes,
since it
that's
works with
why.
iterables, the
I
method
did
belongs
it.
on the string side of things. The greatest teacher failure is. So now we have a string. Let's just go ahead and print it out. So we'll say print 2, and then we'll add the 2 line. We'll do the same thing for CC. So we'll say CC. We'll do CC.
Probably read the or.
Awesome. Let's give that a run in interactive mode. I'm going to drop out of here. We'll say Python.
I know, but it doesn't work the same way in JavaScript, I
Nice,
guess
that
is
looks
what we're
beautiful,
getting at.
doesn't it? Separated by comma space.
Similar,
you know
but
what?
not the same.
Now that we have a string, we can practice bringing that back into a list, right? So we have 2 line here, and that is a string that has a separator in there of comma and then space. So let's turn that into a list. Now, you could imagine this on the processing side, like when you press send. The process gets a string, but it wants a list so that it can email each of these invitations.
Why should I
So
need
let's
spaces?
go
I shouldn't
and
necessarily need it, but I
do
can try
a
it.
split on this. So we'll say 2 line split, and I'm going to do a comma and a space as a parameter. Now, before we didn't have a parameter, we did white space, but we want a comma and then a space to do it, right? So there's that. You'll see it returned the list. Pretty handy, right?
Can we just make some stuff? We might have to end this Python basics from... I'm getting impatient. I just want to build stuff. Especially when you have experience with another language, but we're doing it. We're going to do it from scratch. It'll be good for me to learn. If you had a list, and you wanted to turn it into a string by combining each value together with a specified operator. Dot join, it's on strings. What? Apparently I'm bad. Saw a pretty great shirt today. Let's see. What code would I use to convert that to a list? Here we go. I gotta redo it. If I build it, they will come. I have to retry the quiz. Split, it's on strings, yep. Nope, it's not B. Is Python different? I mean, technically speaking. I don't understand the answers here. If you had a list, you want to turn it into a string by combining the values together with a specified separator. What method? Dot split or split, it's on strings. Everyone's this is good stuff. I feel like these answers could be, yeah, we already tried B, it's not. So I'm just getting impatient now. I'm skipping the quiz. We're done with the quiz.
I know that you're really starting to love lists, and it's only a matter of time before you attempt to put one list inside of another list. And of course, you can do that. A list allows you to store any data type, and a list is just another data type. Now, at first, this might not seem like it would be very beneficial.
I put join. That was my first answer.
You can use this list inside of a list concept to represent rows and columns. The syntax may seem a little confusing at first, so I figured you should get a tiny taste, as you might see it out in the wild in code samples. Let's take a quick look.
Let's imagine it's sometime in your near future and you're freelancing with your Python skills. You've been tracking your time and your expenses that you incur traveling to your client's site. You've been keeping your work log here in a spreadsheet. Here's an hours tab. These are how many hours you worked each of those days.
Well, they keep rearranging it, and I just want to get to the next piece.
Big savings. Do you see how it has rows of weeks? And then each one of these columns here, these are the days of the week, right? So here's Tuesday, and here is week 2. Now let's take a look here at the values of week 1. So here we go, week 1, right? You can build a list like this pretty easily, right? I mean, basically you just put some heart brackets and some commas between these values, right? So picture that list like a value as part of a bigger list, right? So like there's item 1, here's item 2.
Oh, we're gonna have nested lists.
Just 3 lists.
But they're calling them multi-dimensional lists, and I'm calling them nested arrays.
Like my array flattener. Let's create a new file.
I imagine that's what we're gonna be doing
call that
here.
expenses.py. So go ahead and check out the teacher's notes. I went ahead and converted that worksheet
got teacher's
so that we can
notes.
use it in Python.
Let's copy these teachers. Yeah, we got nested arrays. All right. Can you guys see that okay? Not really. You guys can't see it at all. Okay, bring it down a little bit. All right.
Go ahead and copy and paste that. There we go. Travel expenses. Excellent. So we've got, for week 1 of Monday, we've got 5, right? Let's just make sure. 5, 275, 22. 5, 275, 22. Awesome. So let's explore this list of lists using the shell. So I'll say Python-i expenses. So let's see what happens if we get the length of that, length of travel expenses. 3. Okay, that makes sense. It's a list of lists. And the length of the list, of the outer list, is how many top-level elements there are. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 lists inside this list. Just like a normal list. It said list a lot, didn't it? So then I suppose I can access the elements the way that we always do. So I should be able to get back that first week by just saying travel expenses 0, and that should get the first week. Okay, it did. Right, I pulled that list out. There we go. Now, since that returns a list, I should be able to chain it. Like if I wanted to get this Tuesday, I wanted to get this 275, I could use travel expenses 0 and then chain on the second element, which is 1, right? Starts at 0. So the first week of 1 should be here, right? So let's see what happens. Awesome. Now, this is the syntax that I was wanting you to see. Note how you first select the week and then you select the day. Now, this works, of course, with any row-column combination. These are dimensions. Our data is multi-dimensional. Sounds outer spacey. Currently, it's just 2 dimensions, right? So we have the first one, which is weeks, and the second one, which is day of the week.
Oh, that's fancy. Fancy little way to access stuff. So this is what I do when I'm learning. I always comment stuff. I'm like, so first array, first index in array. Like that. Yeah. Multi-dimensional sounds cool though.
So, I just got asked a report on how much travel expenses I am incurring weekly. So why don't we loop through the weeks and then calculate the total? So let's do that up here. So we'll say print travel expenses. So let's see. Let's keep track of a counter for each week that we go through, and we'll increment that in our loop. So we'll say the week number, we'll start at week number 1. Okay. So let's see. Each row in that first dimension represented a week. So let's name our variable that. That makes the most sense, right? So for a week, in travel expenses, then each time through, it's going to pull that row.
So I guess the common is not camel case in Python. You just do everything with underscores. Is that right? Am I content with my current salary? It's not about money. I mean, you need a certain amount to live and pay your bills and do stuff, but I will take more time and less money. All right, so let's do 4. See, this makes more sense, right? You can see that they're clearly separated. For week and travel expenses.
Let's print that out. We'll say print week. We'll do a little bullet point there. And we'll do week number. And then we'll do, that was that much money. And we will format that.
This is such a strange concept to me. This whole formatting, but it's like adding ticks or something in like React so that you can access variables inside the JSX. This is what this reminds me of. So then outside of that, we have to format.
Pass in the week number. And there's a handy function called sum that takes an iterable. And guess what our week is here? It's a list, so therefore it's iterable. So let's just use it. We'll say sum, and you just pass it an iterable, and we'll add it all up for us.
Doing that week number. Sum, that's a brand new function. Apparently it exists. Method, sorry.
So we will close the format statement there, and we'll close the print statement. Awesome. And now we got to remember to increment this week number as we go through the loop each time. So we'll say week number plus equals 1. Save that. Let's go ahead. Let's drop out here. Let's give this thing a run.
We can't do plus plus. We have to do plus equals.
Awesome. Pretty cool, right? Want to know what's even cooler than that? You can actually export spreadsheets into a format that is known as CSV, which stands for comma separate.
Yo, ain't nothing about early 30s. You should probably have a social life while you're still in your 20s. That's not necessarily true. How early do I wake up? Really early. I went to bed last night at around 11 or 12. I woke up at about 4:45. About 5 hours of sleep. So there's no plus plus. Does this work? Probably not. Man, alright. Looks like we're doing the classic iteration.
Separated values.
Do
And
I
there's a
take
Python
naps
module
now?
that lets you read and process CSVs. And it works much like this, rows and columns. Now, that module's out of the scope of this course, but check the teacher's notes for more. Now
What
remember,
you recommend, instead of stopping the video every 10 seconds, writing the same thing, watch the whole video first and try to write what I remember? I do the exact opposite of that because I don't learn that method. I have to pause and immediately use what I'm learning so that I can retain the information. Watching it and then trying to be like, okay, now wait, hold on, what did he say? No, I need to pause, I need to write it out, I need to process what he's doing with what I'm doing and see how it's working. So at the end of the video, it makes sense to me. I can't learn that way. That's not how I learn. I have to use it at the moment that I learn it.
lists are still mutable. So make sure to be explicit when you change them, and be careful about changing them while you're looping. I'm so glad that you got a chance to witness the power of
Python or
multi-dimensional
PHP?
lists.
Yeah, no,
Hopefully
Python
that
for
syntax
sure.
will not seem nearly as a...
Heyo. Alright, so we got week number 1. Sums up the week. Oh, you meant his algorithm?
intimidating
No, I
when
still
you
have
see
to
it.
like pause it out and
All right,
figure out how I'm
let's
working
get
it.
to building our application right after
But
this.
different
quick
people learn different ways, you know? I have to use exactly what I have to use it like at the same time, or it just flies by. See, this is the thing when people like they say that they want to start learning code, but then you have to sit in the terminal and you're like, okay, now when would I ever use this? Why do people get paid so much money to sit in this terminal? It's not like that though, right? You just have to make it through this part. I randomly just clicked on a thing. I didn't even read it. Let me do it again. Consider the following code. Okay. How do I access Alice? So it'll be 2-1. Oh, wait, no, it would be this one. There we go. Go with Django or Flask. I think that depends on the jobs that you're around.
All right, we've now got lists in our bag of tricks. We can start to make applications a lot more interactive. Instead of just prompting for a single response, we can continuously ask for more information and store it in a list. There are a lot of applications that build lists, but one that I'm very familiar with is one that builds my weekly shopping list. I love these things. I've got one on my phone, I've got a to-do list app that I use on my Mac, and I even use an Alexa to add stuff to my list. I can't get enough.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit like nerve-wracking for me to like figure out what's happening and then explain it, and then you guys are like, no, it's not how it works, and I'm like, okay. Okay, like that Vine. Yeah, I mean, I know it'd be useful if you pulled from a database, but like...
Let's make another one. I've already built the user stories for it.
All right, let's take a look at the to-do list for the project. I put these into user stories, and I'm using...
What does this do? This is just for like bullet point formatting. This doesn't actually do anything at all. Literally just to make it look nice in a list. I wish that these curly braces were highlighted in my syntax so I knew that they were going to be where variables are sorted. Like, I wish my IDE would recognize that, because you might just consider this like, well, how are these numbers getting in here? Like, well, can you highlight that, please? I don't know. I need to figure out. I think Python will replace Java. I don't know enough about Java to accurately answer
Again,
that.
it's another list. I told you I love these lists. But here we go. So as a user, I should continually be prompted so that I can add a grocery item or view my list when I need to. So we want to just keep on asking, hey, what do you want to buy? What do you want to buy? That sounds good. Put that into to-do. We can do that. As a user, I should be able to ask for help so that I can understand how to use the application. Also, always a great idea.
What do I think about the viral story of the
as a
homeless
user, I should be able
web
to
dev
add an
handing
item to
out?
a list. Well, good is one of these list apps without being able to add an item, right?
He's also in
so
Silicon
as a user,
Valley.
adding an item to
I've seen a picture like that before, but it wasn't for a web dev in Silicon Valley. There was a guy on Reddit. He was handing out resumes. He said like 4 kids want to work, not on drugs. Take a resume. And no, like that picture didn't go anywhere. So this is just the luck of the internet for that guy, pretty much.
So that I don't, let's fix that. So I don't overbuy. Change this real quick. So I don't overbuy or overpurchase there. There we go. As a user, I should be able to see the list at any time so that I can verify my order. Yeah, we want to be able to look at the list and make sure that that's what you got going on. And then finally, as a user, I should be able to state when I'm done so that I can print out the list in totality. That makes sense? Okay.
Why are we doing this?
So let's go ahead. Let's pick up this first one. Let's get our loop going, right? So I should continually be prompted so that I can add a grocery item or view my list when I need to. I want to move that into in progress.
Okay, so we're going over a little bit of some agile Kanban lists here. Everyone's like, you need a backlog. Okay, well, the backlog here is where you would store your tasks, and then you have your to-do, which is what he's doing, and then he's taking one and he's putting it in progress, but he doesn't have testing or release or anything like that. We're just going to in progress to done.
All right, let's flip over here. Let's go ahead and we're going to add a new file. We will call it shoppinglist.py. We want some sort of main loop, don't we? There are a couple of different commands that we need to handle. Now, I saw one that wants us to show the list, and there's one where you can ask for help, and then there was another one that lets you say when you're done. So we got to handle these commands. When you want the loop to run for an indefinite amount of time, one trick that you can use is what is known as an infinite loop.
They're just running out of space.
Probably going to feel a little weird, but what you can do is this. You can say, while
so crowded.
True. Now, what's strange about that is that it would appear that whatever the body of this loop is going to be, it's going to run forever, right? This is always going to be true. True is never going to not be true. So this loop will run forever unless someone interrupts it. Well, lucky for us, you can do that. There's a keyword named break, and what it does is it breaks out of the outermost
breaking
loop.
the while loop.
So let's do this. Let's go ahead.
All right,
and
have fun. Thanks for hanging out.
Let's take some input from the user. We'll just call this new item. And we'll say input, and we'll make it generic, right? Because they're either going to be typing a item or they're going to be typing one of those commands like
this
help
is like
or done.
prompt
so we'll make this generic.
for JavaScript.
A little greater than sign there. All right, so let's take a loop really quick at our stories. Prompted so that I can add a grocery item review my list when needed to. That's almost done. Let's go ahead and grab this one here is a good one to look at because this will help us show how to break out of this infinite loop we just created.
So this,
let's
again, here, if you were asking a question about the, like, the asterisk, literally this doesn't do anything either.
And come back.
Just for formatting.
What we want to have happen is if the user inputs done in all capital letters, we'll exit the loop. So
what's up,
let's
Mal?
use that break keyword. We can do that, right? So we say if.
Have a good stream. Gotta go exercise the puppy. All right, dude. See you later, Evan.
Done. And we're gonna use all caps there. What we want to have happen is we want to break out of the loop. Cool. So let's give that a run. Let's just make sure that that's working. So if we say Python shopping list, we can say anything at all. Anything we want to say here. But when we type done, boom, the program exits because we broke out of the loop. This loop was just running and running and running. But when we said break, we dropped out. Awesome. So how are our users going to know that they need to type done in all caps like that? Well, let's look at that list again. Let's look here.
Can you guys hear the trash guy outside? Motivated you to start working out every morning before you start work? Nice, dude. Gotta do it. I really want to know why my syntax is like broken. Is this even gonna run? Oh. Alright, there we go. Oh, so it's prompting me. So if I type done, or just done, it should break. Yeah, it broke. Fantastic.
Here it is. Help. As a user, I should know how to ask for help so that I can.
Yeah, I just realized that, Brody. I was like, do I have to type a string? And then I corrected it. So I was like, let's just see.
So good that that's there. Let's do that one too. So let's come back over. I'd assume that we'll probably want to show help before the program starts.
You wish you could talk
right?
as
So that
fast as the lesson guy. Well, the thing is, I have it turned up to 1.75, so, or 1.5.
Happening. And the ticket says that they should be able to ask for help whenever they want to. So that's also one of these.
Am I drinking pre-workout
right?
now?
So let's do this. Let's make a function so that we can call it.
More like coffee to me.
So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to give us some
I put my
space
ketones in it, my exogenous ketones in there.
Makes sense.
Get to work.
And
all right. Not fast enough. Well, I listen to audiobooks all day.
we'll describe. We'll say print.
And they're like
we'll
1.6 or something.
What should we pick up at the store? And I'm going to use.
You guys ever like fat finger your keyboard? I feel like I've been doing that a lot.
Here. So remember, you can do multiple lines. We'll say enter done to stop adding.
What audiobook do I recommend? Go read The Compound Effect. Go read The War of Art.
Here. So then I'll close that off, and I will close the print statement. Awesome. And we'll call it right when the program starts, right? Why not? We'll say show help. We'll call that. And we also want to show it
at 1.5, so it made the guy even faster.
New item equals help. So if they do equal help, we'll do show help. And we don't really want the rest of this.
Because all right, in JavaScript you have to type out else if, but apparently in Python you just type in elif. All right, I can do that.
Loop to run no matter what.
Oh, then we're going to run this function.
We have completed what we need to do for this thing of the loop. One thing that we can do, which is along the same lines as this break keyword, is to use the continue keyword. Continue makes the code jump back to the while statement immediately. Like none of the rest of the code in the loop will run. It will jump right back up to the while true line there. So break breaks out of the loop.
Treehouse good for other languages and design stuff. Did I see any stupid lessons so far?
Since we want it to come back to the prompt as soon as help is shown.
I know that they have a whole bunch of other stuff for like React, JavaScript, they have PHP stuff in there also.
Awesome. Cool, so we'll do clear, and we'll give this a run, Python shopping list. There's our help. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? So we can say blah, blah, and I can type help. Hey, there's our help again, and I can type done. There we go.
Oh. Can we just do like /in here? Does that work? Has to be on the same line. All right. Oh, it doesn't have to be on the same line, but he's using like triple quotes. What's going on with that? Okay, so triple quotes lets you do a print statement on multiple lines. All right. Multi-line string, yeah. Today I learned. How do you get to the Team Treehouse content? Use the link in the description. Today I learned triple quotes are multi-line strings. Why is this not working? Oh, continue. Yeah, so it's not going to work. Missing doc string? I don't know what that means. Oh. Well, that would make sense. This is learning to program in real life, guys. All right, got it working.
And with that, let's move some of these tickets over to done. So continually prompted, definitely happening. As users be able to state when I am done so that I can print out the list in totality. Let's leave that one running so that we can remember about
I think
print
we're just
out the
going to
list.
finish
There's a
this
little bit of a gotcha. And I'm going to show the list when we're done, but we don't have the list yet.
We're going to finish this lesson. We'll call it
help so
call it good.
We're cruising. And we're going to keep this done ticket alive because we haven't even created the actual list yet. Let's change that right after this quick break.
Right after the quick break. All right, this is our stopping point.
All right, so what's next?
Okay, well, that wasn't... I thought there was going to be a quiz. Okay, so yeah. I think we're good for now. We'll pick it back up tomorrow. Got my new scene set up. So I can just talk. We can answer some questions, talk about some stuff. Pretty sure today's video is going to be, everyone wants to see a video that's not for the United States specifically. So, yeah, I'll probably make a video on cost of living for like remote people. So best internet, all that stuff. I think that'll be fun. How's the stream quality for everybody? Is it okay? Interesting audiobooks or podcasts that help me grow? A lot. I have a lot of those. Let's see. Here we're talking about reverb. I mean, I know like basic concepts. I can play the guitar. I took some audio courses. Yeah, so The War of Art probably is a good one. Obstacle is the Way is also a good one. Relentless by Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's. How do I like C#? It's okay. You have to declare like public and private and data types. How do I like Python so far? Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd like to start building like real applications with it, or write some stuff on an Arduino with it, or do some automation with it. Right now we're just learning syntax. That's what you have to remember. As frustrating as it is, we're learning syntax and the way that you do concepts that they share in other languages. So, yep. I really want to put this on like a Raspberry Pi, or make some like, I want to make like a Reddit bot where I Python the account creation and just have like a like a upvote spam bot. I mean, obviously it'll get banned, but I think it'd be fun to try. You're learning Python and C++. Python right now. There's a lot more jobs up. There's just more jobs up for Python right now. C++ is like industry standard for older applications or game development specifically. How long should your workouts be for actual muscle gain? I don't think duration is an indicative factor of how much muscle gain. You have to destroy the fibers in your muscle. However you get to that point is different for everybody. You need to go, almost to failure or to failure. Otherwise, you're just pumping a bunch of blood in your muscles and you look really cool, but you're not. I mean, you'll make a little bit of muscle gain, but not too much. You'll build more muscle fibers, maybe. Depends on what you're doing. Hypertrophy or low weight or high weight, low rep. Red, hello. Welcome to the stream. If I open like Stack Overflow right now and I type in Python, we can just do a side by side. How's the Python tutorial? I mean, it's pretty good. I think if I was doing this solo by myself without having to like explain it, but it's that next level challenge. Like I don't know if you can tell, but I'm obviously a little bit like flustered having to explain this, and then it doesn't work on stream, and I'm like, oh, but I'm the guy that's like I code all day, right? And so it's a humbling experience. I'm sure I'll get used to it over time, but it feels embarrassing, even though I know you guys don't care. But that's okay. I'll keep doing it, work through it. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing, right? So it's good. But doing 5 things at once, I'm learning. Yo, you're out. Later, dude. You're working but listening. Thanks, Max. Thanks for hanging out. How happy are you with your high-paying coding job? You sound like a recruiter that wants to get me to do something else. No worries. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I know you guys don't actually care, but like for me, right, if I'm going to be repping this is what you need to do as an authority figure, you have a little bit of that imposter syndrome. By little, I mean like a lot. You're like, how can I tell someone how to do something? And you're over here struggling how to access or do a for loop, right? But it's okay. I'm Googling Python right now. Or I'm Stack Overflowing Python. Alright, we'll do a direct comparison live. Can you guys see? Is it okay to use Stack Overflow? Yeah. So we have Python 1078 results. C++ 456 results. Now this is just one website, so you can't use this one sample, right, as your entire gauge for if this is correct or not. But Stack Overflow is where I have found jobs, so I think it's pretty legitimate. If we want to look at salary, maybe that might say something else. Senior, oh, a hedge fund. You want to work as a hedge fund? 200K to 400K. Like, can you imagine the interview process for this much money? Seriously. That's insane. Oh, but you're in New York, so it's really like 200 maybe if you got 400. There's a lot of money in C++, clearly. But let's see what Python has to offer. A lot more jobs and a lot more money. Well, not more money, but almost equal amounts of money. San Francisco. Director of Engineering is making 190 to 300. Whew. Yeah. Would you ever consider using Treehouse certificates or LinkedIn on your resume? I mean, yeah, sure, put them on there. I don't think you would have anything to lose from it. More importantly, they're going to be like, okay, so this is where you learned to code. Fantastic. All right, what did you make? That's literally, they're going to be like, all right, that's cool, but what did he make with it? That's going to be like the instant next step that they're going to go to. Check out Richmond, Virginia. Python jobs in Boston. Probably. 41 results. That's it within 20 miles. 50 miles. 42 results. Check out Richmond. Two results. But, I mean, if we just put Richmond, we have 8 results. I think what you should rather be doing is like Virginia. Maybe not specify the town. But look at Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City's packed. 22. But this is what you do, guys. You don't put anything here. You come over here, you click this gear, go to perks, offers remote, and now there's 352 jobs where it doesn't even matter where you live. So I would go ahead and apply to these. Right? So skip the office, go straight to remote. You have more options, right? So now you have your 2 places in Virginia plus 352 places that don't actually care. Visa sponsors, 10 plus days vacation. Oh snap. HTML CSS engineer. Can you imagine how many applications they got for this? And remote. And up to 90K. Oh man, I imagine they probably got like 4,000 resumes in like a day. That's it. That's all I need to know. Let's see what they actually want though. 1-person HR team. Doesn't sound like a team. You got to get learning. All right. Thanks, man. Have a good day. She probably posted this, and then within 30 minutes, she was like, nope, I'm done. I am done. Expert in HTML. Everyone that's ever made a HTML page calls himself an expert because it's not that hard. Extensive knowledge. Life at Presley. How is it at Presley? It's remote. Up-to-date schedule. Oh, you get a code screening. That's nice. Yeah, you can actually see what they do, how the stuff goes. Every 2 months, you take 2 weeks to have super slow weeks. That sounds pretty chill. Unlimited vacation time. We evaluate on value, not on desk time. Hey, what up? That's how I would do it. But unlimited vacation time is a little bit like reverse psychology because you don't know how much to take. Like if you're going to take 2 weeks or you're going to take 5 weeks, you're going to take 3 months. If you take 3 months, are they going to be like, hey, bro? So it's like, it by default, it kind of makes people feel bad if you care. I'd say the majority of people feel bad because they don't know how much vacation to take. It's smart on the companies, right? They don't have to tell you, but then they get to use this buzzword that says unlimited vacation time. But if you take, I think if you had minimum vacation time, like what you're talking about, Daniel, then that would be better. If you had like, all right, you have to take 3 weeks vacation a year, but you can take more if you want, then that would be close to like unlimited vacation in reality. Man, can you just imagine like the amount of resumes? I feel like I would have to send a video to even get considered. Oh, you get to visit Belgium every year. The right tools. Hey, that's an opinion. Zoom? Who uses Zoom? I know. Actually, Lambda School uses Zoom. A bunch of people use Zoom. We use Zoom at work. I prefer like Google Hangouts. You'd be happy at 65,000 a year? Yeah, I mean, there's a study that was done that says that you don't need much more than about 77 before money compared to happiness directly. After 77,000 a year, it falls off, so. How hard is it to get a remote junior job? It's pretty hard. Definitely pretty hard. You want to start at 60K in Canada? Hey, that'd be cool. Dude, you're the best. Can you tell me about your Patreon a bit? In what aspect? I mean, you guys know that I dedicate a lot of time to this, but I have a full-time job, and then I'm teaching, and so my time is spent elsewhere, and I use most of what I can to do this. So the Patreon helps me kind of transfer over. I know it has a ramp-up time, but yeah. Which, you have a specific question about it? You're going to start applying once you're done with your full stack. Why don't you start applying when you know that you're close to finish? Because it's going to take 2 weeks for them to get back to you anyways, Felipe. You got some stuff coming up? Okay, well, I mean, how could I know that, right? So, sounds like you know what to do. Does it take companies 2 weeks to contact you for an interview? Sometimes, I don't know, I would say anywhere from like up to 2 weeks. I've been contacted like a month and a half later, and they're like, all right, so we've reviewed your resume. We'd like you to go to step 2. I was like, dude, I've already accepted a job offer. Just crazy. You built a music player using the Spotify API. Hey, I did that too. Do you think it's good? I mean, it's good for a front-end developer because you're using an API. You're not doing anything. You'd contact with me in 2 hours if you saw your picture. Yeah, maybe you. Took 2 months before you even started. I know, right? How do you overcome the feeling of not knowing enough to be in a full-time job? I don't know if you watched this stream, but this stream was full of that feeling of me not knowing what I'm talking about, but making videos, trying to help people. Anyways, and what you're looking at right now, is it me overcoming it, or is it me like working through it and just, you know, ignoring it, so to speak? Dude, yeah, do what Felipe said. You just got to keep going, man. Better to stay humble, you know. Is 20K remote part-time? I mean, 20K remote part-time in like Thailand is not. 20K remote part-time in like downtown San Francisco, obviously. Started to make projects, prepare. Nice, dude. Thanks, GMV. What skills would I look at for data scientist? Scala would be good. Galeran 28. Exclamation points. Python projects that I recommend for beginners. Let me pull up some more Python stuff here. I'm just going to look on Treehouse to see what they have. Yeah, I gotta get back to work. Alright, dude, later. Have a good day. I'll post a video later today. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it helps. we can look at the tech degree tracks. I know that we can see the different, they have Python web development. We can kind of see what projects they're doing there maybe. Hadoop is greater than Scala. I don't know. I don't know enough about data science to answer that question. I do web dev. View the projects. Alright, so this is what we got for, these are some projects that you could do. So this is what you build on the tech degree. So if you're interested, you could do the tech degree, and then you have to do like, all of your stuff gets checked. You learn how to do all this stuff. Build a soccer league, secret messages, work log, work with a database. If you want to do these, check out this. What's the top 4 things you should learn to get a good job in coding? Step 1, don't limit it to 4 things. There's a lot more than 4 things you need to be good at. What's the top 4? It depends on what you want to do, because you just say good job in coding. In what aspect? What place do you want to code? Where do you like? It depends on how you learn, what you want to learn. It sounds like you're just kind of doing it to just get a good job with good money, and not that you actually care what you need. You know what I mean? Because the first question you asked me was, how happy are you with your high-paying coding job? You know what I mean? So again, here we go with another money question. So San Francisco for 100+ K. Well, you got to remember 100+ K in San Francisco is still like $50,000 a year, just because of the cost of rent. I don't know, man. You have to learn front end. You have to learn back end. You have to learn DevOps. Then you have to learn how to overcome imposter syndrome. And then I would say those are your top 4. Not necessarily in that order. That's such a vague question. Like, you want to live somewhere. Okay, well then you have to look at the jobs. I don't know exactly what job you want to do. What's the difference? You'll go any end I can get in. I think that you just do like a quick Google for that. But front end is what you're looking at on the screen right now. You see a YouTube interface. The back end is where this data gets streamed to and stored and saved for later so that you can watch this recording. There's a lot of people that get into this industry because they just want more money, but they don't actually care. Are you still suffering from imposter syndrome? All day long, every day. If you're not, you should probably check yourself or do something that challenges you at least. Because if you're not suffering from imposter syndrome, you're probably not growing. So you'll care as long as you get paid a lot to care. It's not how it works. You think that's how it works. But I got paid a lot of money at my engineering job, and I didn't care. They paid me, and I was like, wow, this is a lot. But I still just didn't give a shit, because I just didn't care. Because I was like, all right, well, this is the rest of my life. You think that money is going to change everything, and it will for moments, you know. And when you first get the new, when you go from no money to a lot of money, your whole life changes and you're like, wow, this is great. And then you realize that you have to keep doing something that you may not care about, but you try to care about it first. And then the corporate beats you into submission. No, you can't have any new ideas, but you have to care and be passionate. And then you just start to not care anymore. Yeah, so Jeremy, if you use the link, they have like the 7-day trial thing, but I can show you. Let me show you. We got tracks. Like when you don't have money, having money is everything to you. But when you have money, now it's like, okay, well, shit, I have to do this thing for the rest of my life. Do I want to like it at least? Or am I just going to hate 8 hours of my life every day and then go home and enjoy the 4 hours that I have with the money? Just don't have lifestyle creep. Just if you make more money, don't spend more money. That's what 99% of people do. I just made that statistic up, but it's pretty common, especially here in Utah. You make more money, you put more stuff on credit. You make more money, you spend more money. Don't do that. You want to make more money and then keep making more money, but without increasing your spending and wanting to go buy new toys that you won't have time for anyways because now you're working to get more money. It's like those people that buy like really, really expensive cars for their commute every day. Like you just spent 6 months of your life working for this fancy car that you'll drive like 1 hour a day. So you spent whatever, you know what I mean? Make more money, invest more money. I would say spend the money like investments on yourself. Yeah, more money, more problems if you don't have control over it. If you let it burn a hole in your pocket. That's what my grandparents told me, right? Don't let that money burn a hole in your pocket. Those are the true rich people are the people who make a lot of money and then don't spend it. They drive their 2000 Ford Taurus or Toyota Corolla or whatever, right? Do I save up a certain percent on each paycheck? I don't save percentage-wise because I have different amounts of income coming in every month because I do a whole bunch of stuff. I save everything I can and I buy food, and that's it. And occasionally I'll splurge on food, but other than that, I don't buy any toys. I don't splurge. I save a lot. I would say that I save like 70 or 75% of what I make overall, and I just pay my bills and eat food. I live like I'm in college, right? Well, you should go treat yourself. You deserved it. You earned it. No, that's that's how you end up in the rat race. No thanks. You ever wonder how those people at like 35 years old are like, oh, I'm gonna go on a cruise for the next month, and they're like, well, how do you have time to go on a cruise for the next month? Don't you have to work? No, I worked real hard when I was young, and now I don't, you know. So I'm just gonna go see the world for a little bit. You ever seen those people? You're just like, how? I'll retire before I hit 40. My goal is to retire by 35. Was there ever a point I checked my bank account and I was satisfied with how much I have? No. I don't care about savings. I care about passive income. So that's the flaw. People that retire. I'll be 35 before I know it. Yeah, I know. Because now I'm 28 and I still feel like I feel like 18 was a couple years ago, not 10 years ago. And so if I just keep doing what I'm doing, yeah. Essentially, what old people do, what people do these days, what companies tell you to do, they tell you to invest in your 401k, blah, blah, blah. And then you turn 65 and you have a lot of money, and then you basically plan it so that you die before you run out of money. That's not financial freedom. Financial freedom is having passive income so you don't need to depend on savings depleting. So that way, if you like make an expensive purchase, or what happens if you have a bunch of money, then all of a sudden there's this huge medical bill that takes all of the retirement that you just saved for. All right, well now you're not retired anymore. How often has that happened? You thought this was Python stream. It was Python stream, so we're done with that. And now we're doing AMA. What am I doing for passive income? I mean, I try to sell things. YouTube, it's not explicitly passive. I don't know how much I'm going to get, but does my job provide benefits? Yeah, but I don't partake because they take like $300 a paycheck, so pass. You need to watch when you get out of work? Alright, later, dude. What kind of passive income would you like to have? I would like to have real estate. Real estate is like it's the king, right? That's why you hear everyone talk about it. You buy a house, you rent it out for more than the mortgage. The mortgage costs you $1,500 a month. You rent it out for $2,200 a month. You pay the management company not to deal with it, or you pay the management company to deal with it, and then you don't have to deal with it. They take a % of that, and then you rake in, $600 a month. That's it. Done. I mean, obviously there's ways to get passive income, such as making, sell a software as a service every month so people can pay a monthly fee to you and then have access to some product. Lambda School is a scam. I think you left a whole bunch of comments about that too. Did someone hurt you? Are you all right, man? I don't understand why you feel so motivated to. I mean, did they not let you into the program or something? You seem a little salty. It's my favorite food. I like pizza and hot wings. I'm simple. Last time I went to the dentist, a while ago. Do I have investments in stock? I did. Did I leave a bunch of fake friends behind? I don't really have in-person. Actually, I can tell you right now, I don't have any in-person friends that I hang out with on a day-to-day basis. I am a complete lone wolf in what I do. It's hard to find people that have the same drive as me, and in addition to that, I'm working on my stuff. So this is a lonely lifestyle, and of course your friends are like, well, come on, man, come hang out. It's Saturday night. Yes, so what? The path upwards is alone, right? It's a very lonely path. Self-improvement's a lonely path. People see you improving, they're going to either tell you to slow down, not do it, or you're going to be different than them, and you're not going to have anything in common anymore. So all you need is a girlfriend and a dog. I have a girlfriend, and I've got 2 doggos, so I'm good. Rick, it sounds like we're in different states of mind. So the hardest part is like when you want to start doing something. I feel like I'm about to sell you a self-help book. But the hardest part about wanting to start something different is when you go to your friends and family because you think it's a cool idea and you can see it in your head, like what you want to do and where you want to go and who you want to be. And then they tell you, oh, that's crazy, or man, I don't know about that. Have you thought about, like, they don't say it directly, that's stupid. They say, well, have you thought about how much work that's going to take? Well, how are you going to manage the money? And then they like passively guilt trip you into like doing it, They don't tell you, oh no, negativity is normal. I mean, if you're part of the normal population that are satisfied with who they are and don't like progress, sure. But I'm not normal. I've already accepted that. you need to have a certain amount of optimism, but a certain amount of, caution as well. So you need to be able to look objectively at what you're trying to do and see how realistic it is. But, if you don't, when you tell people that you're going to do something, you're trying to do that maybe because you want them to hold you accountable for it, but chances are they don't have any goals even remotely close to that, so why are they going to hold you to it when they can't even control what they put in their mouth or go to the gym, I know, it's your job to go out there and make it. You're about to do Team Tree, what should I recommend for doing web track? So do the full stack web development and then do the React. I think that'll set you on. So full stack starts you off with the basics. We can look at that real quick. I mean, I try to make friends and I try to go do stuff, but people are just like, it's the weekend, man, let's hang out. And I'm like, nah, I'd rather be doing something, man. One person asked me, what do I spend my money on if it's not splurging? I'll go see a movie because I like film and editing, so I like to see how people in Hollywood are doing it and get some inspiration. So you could do any of these. It's your job, but it's lonely. So if you can be okay with that, then be all right. You don't like to play any sports? I'm 28 years old. Do you need membership? It's $20 a month or $25 a month, but there's a free week trial, so you can see if you like it. Then you can go to all the stuff. I mean, yeah, but I mean, pros and cons of Treehouse full stack course versus Odin project. That's not based on Ruby on Rails. That's like the difference. There's less Ruby on Rails jobs overall. That's just the statistics. So this prepares you for jobs out there that there's just more of. Am I sponsored by that site? They're not paying me. They're not paying me to tell you to go here. I have received no money up front to tell you to go here. I just asked if I could have access to the platform so that I could review it on my YouTube channel. And they said, okay. And they said, oh, by the way, if people do join, then we'll help support the channel. But I've received no money to tell you to go here. Drummer Boynoid. Gotta go to lunch. Alright, dude. Later. I might be working for them one day. Hey, what's good? Coding Phase, where you been, dude? I saw you dropping all kinds of recorded videos. What do I think about drop shipping? It depends. It's a little bit of a saturated industry right now. Drop shipping means that everyone has access to the same products that you have unless you're white labeling it and making a design and then sticking it on to something. How long were you there? Like 2 or 3 weeks, right? I don't know what vacation means, Joe. Send help. Oh, Matt, that's pretty sweet. I didn't even know they did that. Have I already done a review? It's hard to do a review of everything, right? You could see that it was like 60 hours, 20 hours, 9 hours. I don't have that. I have to work, make videos, do a live stream. 2 weeks off. But you're still live streaming every day, so that was cool. I put like 5 more minutes in, and then I'm gonna do some work. I work 40 hours a week. I mean, it's not. I'm just gonna say I work 40 hours a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It's about what you get done. If you want me to be corporate correct, I'm gonna be like 40 hours a week, nothing more. Like, do this collab. Well, let's do the collab then. Where are we doing it? Are we doing it on yours or mine? Or somewhere else? When I say get things done, I have a list of tasks that need to be done. There's not a specified deadline on it, but there are on some. And so I prioritize and I get those done as fast as I can, and I update everyone on what the status is and all that stuff. Other sites, yeah, I mean there's Free Code Camp. I mean that's like text-based. There's Udemy, Coursera, Pluralsight, bunch of places. I wanna look at them all, right, and then just compare them. So I'm sure certain ones mesh better with different people. 4-hour work week, yeah. You are not wrong. I should live stream my full workday. I can't because of NDAs. I could live stream you looking at me while I code and type on Skype and sit on a call. A few people. Who are these few people? Why are you being so mysterious? There's this new website, but you didn't say what the website is. Alright, dude, later. I'm out in a minute. Oh, it's about to rain. It's like super dark thunderclouds outside. It's like the best. Right before it rains, get really excited. Can you type in the sites from chat? Yeah, sure. Do I have ADD? I don't know. I've never been to the doctor to get diagnosed for it because I don't want to take Ritalin or any of that. You're sorry to say, but I'll be financially free before me. Alright, man, then do it. Do it better than me so that I can learn from you and see how you did it. I don't know what you expect me to say to that, but cool, man, do it so I can learn how you did it, and then it's easy. I mean, awesome, dude, then go do it. Sounds like you know the way. Passive income, the ramp up to passive income. I mean, you get these people, and they just feel like they gotta flex all the time. So you're not gonna, I don't know if it makes you feel better about yourself or what, but cool. Well, if you engage the person, right? I'm outcome independent, so no effect on my emotional state. Let's see. Ember thoughts. I've been asked by a recruiter a couple times. Yo, new subscriber, Trevor, thanks for hanging out. Take the long road if you want to be financially independent. Take the long road that's less traveled if you want to do anything that's worthwhile. Go to Hacker Noon, that's a pretty good one. Egghead.io. Joe, I don't get it, man. People, I feel like we could just shake hands over it and be like, all right, let's do like a race, see who wins. People just have the urge to feel superior than others. Cool. That's cool. I'm still gonna do my thing. Set up a meeting. Let's see. Do excited to network? That's pretty cool. Well, especially in tech. If you look at any video where I talk about how to solve a problem, you'll see you could have done it this way. You could have done it that way. Oh, you're not using the superior language. It's like the internet has given people a voice that have no voice if you were to stand in front of them in person. You know what I mean? If I started implemented any of the things that we talked about before making passive income, to a certain degree, yeah. Yeah, it's because you asked if you could talk to him and share knowledge. Everyone's down to share knowledge. You're not asking anything from him. Well, coding phase, Joe, that's like the first step, right? Might as well do that while you can. But it's not at your level yet. Not even close. If you guys want to know about passive income, coding phase is your man. He's the one over here that just quit his job and he's just, you know, for whatever it means. You think I'm a cool dude? I think I'm a chill dude, I guess. You get in there, you're going to surpass you. I don't know about that. What is passive income? It's minimal hands-on time required to garner a paycheck. And when I say minimal, I'm like 2 hours a week, maybe. Ask Joe. He's the one here. Joe, if you want to flex the number, I'll let you do it. If you want to find out what he makes, go to his channel, watch his videos. Affiliate money is cool as long as it doesn't take over your channel. Nah, I don't, the thing is, like, I try not to shill anything. I just present the information. You guys make the decision. I'm not gonna specifically endorse one thing over the other, because when I do, automatically I lose credibility to people, because it's like, oh, he's being paid to say that, which super sucks, and I hate when people do that. But it's rather like, hey, I'll show people what this is about and let them make a choice, and then they're like, all right, that sounds good. Here's a link. And so then that helps me make the channel, which helps me make more videos to cover more content. So I don't want to lose credibility by, just up front, this is the only person that I work with because they're paying me to do that. So, what's my next video on? Michael, what's up, dude? Welcome aboard. My next video today is going to be places to work remotely. So I have a cool editing trick that I want to try. It's going to take me a while to do, but I'm going to get it done. I mean, I don't know. So let's see. If you make more doing YouTube vids, are you actually going to leave your web dev job? I might leave. Well, it depends. Depends on how much time they want from me. There would need to be a certain amount of money. Gotta go. See ya. Tech lead doesn't talk. Okay, so we have the group of people. We have Mayuko, Joma, John Ma, whatever. We have the tech lead, and we have Jarvis. They all know each other in real life. And they all have, so Mayuko, right, has tons of subs. And she partners with all the other people, and they get tons of subs. And so they all just kind of bounce off each other to get to the top. They haven't had to start from scratch, like 100%. I think Jarvis is pretty funny. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that they've all had a kickstart on like YouTube. Is this live stream starting or over? It's about to end. Because otherwise, right, like Mayuko has 160 something thousand followers, and she has produced 32 videos. So one of her videos got a lot of traction. She got a lot of subs. She used that to swing herself to the top. I have spent more time making videos every day than she has probably in a long while. But that's the way it goes, right? If you have to start from the bottom, you have to put in the work. So eventually when I get to that level, I imagine that I will surpass her tenfold. They put it. You think they put in the work? Have I reached out to them? Yeah, I mean, I have reached out to them, and they ignored me, right? Because I can't bring them money to their doorstep. Why would they want to work with me? There's a value proposition that they require. If you can't bring them $50,000, they don't want to work with you. It's just not. It doesn't seem genuine. I haven't worked for a financial company. Learned for frameworks, probably React right now. Yeah, I mean, my goal is to help people. I think their goal, I'm not sure. Fame, acknowledgement, something. I don't care about fame. I don't care about any of that. I just want to be able to pay my bills and do something that I like while being able to help other people. That's it. And so then these days, I have to pay my bills somehow, so that's why I monetize stuff. That's not what it's about for me, though. Yeah, I only want to work with people that put in work, you know, like people that don't take 2 weeks vacations to the Dominican Republic. I'm just kidding. No, but really, like people that work all day, every day, they have a vision, they know it's the long road, and they take the long road rather than skipping. I mean, I'll get there eventually, no doubt about it, but I feel like if I had suddenly got to the top, like one day, I wouldn't know what to do with it all because I didn't earn it. So it just seems like it'd be so easy to just give up at that point and be like, well, I made it. Same thing with lottery winners. People that just get a bunch of money, they're like, well, now what? Where's the drive go? You give a man $1 million, it does not make him a millionaire because he didn't earn it. You're a millionaire when you earn it. That's why all these people like on Shark Tank that went from nothing, right? And they're so wondering why they don't. Whatever. My social blade is popping. It's alright. No. So Storms, we're talking about like eventually the transition will happen, but I can't quit my job now. I just don't want it to seem like, well, I quit my job, now what? Like, you have to have that slow ramp up so that eventually I can feel comfortable enough and have the security to be able to swap. If I get 30K subs, you'll make your own YouTube channel and we can collab. I'm teaching a course on Python. It'll be recorded, so we'll stay for 5 more minutes. I say that every day. These doggos back here, though. You guys haven't even seen the dogs in the channel. Hey, come here. Dogs. Fan. Come here, Fan. They're not excited about opportunity to be on camera. Oh, you guys are just looking at my closet. Alright, that's fine. Dogs, where you at? I don't know what they're doing. They're just chilling. I think it drives me insane to hear people like special speakers that are like, all right, this is how you make progress. This is how you stay financially secure. Then they sell a book on it. How do you think they got rich? Do you think they got rich by investing in a 401k, or do you think they got rich by selling a book to 4 million people? All right, do they practice what they preach? That's my issue with certain motivational speakers. It's like, all right, well, what's your skill though? What is your actual skill that you provide to society? Or what would you do? Like, people pay money when you can change their emotional state. So that is all sales is. If you're a salesman, you know how to change someone's emotional state to make them want to buy something from you. You're not selling the product, you're selling the emotions that go with it that make them feel like they're missing out on something. So that's why they make money. I mean, if it's about psychology at the end, if you really look at it. So over the years, you'd hate to be public. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are saturated, but it's about execution. A lot of people can do a lot of great things, but it's about execution and how you go about it, your attitude. Yeah, I mean, subs don't necessarily correlate with views. If we look at Engineered Truth's videos, he has like over 300,000, but his videos average between like 8,000 and 9,000. That's way less than 1%. Less than 1% of your actual user base watches your videos. I feel like you're not engaging with him at all. But he has money now, so why does it matter? Might as well just get more money. They talk about the fact they code for a living, right? It's easy to talk about what you do, and me and I, in the age of the selfie, you can just talk about yourself all day, and for some reason people watch that. And that's not what I'm about. True organic value comes from providing value to people, and the more people you provide value to, the more money that you make, and that's just a byproduct of how things go. I like Coding Train. It's like the people on Twitch. They stream. It's about them. Regardless if they say welcome to the community, it's about them streaming a video game. This is me. Watch me play a game. I'm not providing any value other than entertainment, which is a shallow level of value. And then they're like, well, why am I not getting any views? I've been doing this 9 to 5 for 3 months now, and the most people I had in a stream was like 5 people. That's because you're not providing value, dude. Unless you're like a stand-up comedian that's already well known, it's not going to happen. It's saturated. Anyone can talk about themselves, but it's hard for you to provide value to a bunch of people. Do I play electric guitar? No. I play acoustic. Oh, I mean, I guess I could. Well, yeah. Daisy, I saw your question earlier. I will post some good resumes at some point. I hate tomatoes. That'd be good. I try not to limit myself to code. That's just what I do. But I'm not limited to it. I got sidetracked, Daisy, but I remember. I didn't know if you were still here, but I figured I'd mention it. Abdullah, I hope that they help. That's the whole purpose. If you can't walk away from trading your time to watch my video with something that you can use in your life, then I apologize. I would like you to be able to watch something and then walk away with something that you could implement right away. Chick-fil-A or Chipotle? Can we have both? I'm just going to say yes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with monetizing your content and monetizing yourself, but if you're not doing anything else besides like entertainment, unless you're really good at it, it just doesn't seem worth. Subway or Pop? Obviously, neither of those. Alright guys, we have 70 people here. I'm out. I have to go do stuff. I have to get some stuff done today. It's great chatting with you. We will... This is what recruiters do. One more thing before we go. I'm following up with you on a great opportunity. 100K plus. Great, exciting company in Salt Lake caught my eye. Wanted to find out if you're a great fit. Leave me alone. Alright. Later, bro. See you guys, bros, girls, dudettes.